Hi everyone. So today we'll be doing something special. Let me just fill up my energy here. We're going to be looking at accumulators, which are basically batteries. So you can store energy in them, and so let me just show you here. So to make them, they're a building, and yeah, you need these super magnetic rings, which are expensive to make because they have these green turbine things, electromagnetic turbine, and the crystal silicon is pretty easy to make, and the iron ingot is pretty easy to make. But you need a lot of these when you go to make these orbital collectors, which I'm going to show you in a minute because they're very important. They essentially give you endless amounts of hydrogen, so you can stop burning coal and you can switch to burning hydrogen. So I've made a number of these, like 1,000 of them, and what you have to do, let's grab the last few of them from the bin, 150 of them. And what you have to do is you have to charge them. So I've got this chunk of 50 here. I'm going to put them down, line them up, and you can see it's charging from the grid. Just walk around. Now you can use these things to help store energy from the grid, and then like if you have like a sudden burst of power, then these can help feed the grid. So right now, because we have a surplus of power, that surplus of power is going towards charging these up, and you can hover over it. Some of them were charging key. So you can see this one here is actively charging 105 megajoules of energy. And they go up to 540. So it usually takes, 5 to 10 minutes for these things to charge up. And then if the grid ever goes into a deficit, it'll draw from these. And I don't really like running my grid that way. If the grid is going into deficit, it means I need to find more sources of power. But it does come in handy. I think that there's like planetary defense systems that will use like a burst of energy, like a laser or something. I haven't actually used one yet, but I suspect that that's where these will come in handy. But the other thing, of course, is if you look at the orbital collector, one orbital collector needs 20 of them, and they have 20 of these accumulators, and they have to be fully charged. So that's sort of what we're doing here. Let's see, is there any of them fully charged yet? when they're fully charged, they get brighter. Yeah, it's going to be a while here, a minute or two at least before we see one. But they get brighter, and you can just use the X button on the keyboard and dismantle it, I guess. And the fully charged accumulator will appear in your inventory. And then you can use it to build, in my case, the Orbital Collector. So what is the Orbital Collector? Well, you might notice that every single game you start on a planet that's orbiting a gas giant. And that gas giant is made out of hydrogen. And you can place these orbital collectors along the equator of the gas giant. You can fit, I think you can fit 40 of them. And I've gone and made 40 of them. I got 4 stacks of them here. You probably can't see them very well, but they're there. And I'm just going to go around the perimeter of the gas giant. I'm going to be placing these. And they will collect hydrogen and fire ice. Yeah, I was hoping that there would be some fire ice here for us to look at, but there isn't. And once the orbital collector is in operations, so it's a little bit different than the other stations. You don't put logistics vessels. You don't put these interstellar logistics vessels. You don't put these logistics drones. Nothing like that. It's just on your planet, you're going to have an interstellar logistics station that has these interstellar logistics vessels, and you're just going to tell it to demand hydrogen, and it'll go out to the orbital collectors and come back. But you don't actually put anything on the orbital collectors. So this one's almost full. This accumulator that I'm looking at, you're going to see it change. See there? That's what it looks like when it's full. And these are going to start, popping up, turning bright. But I don't actually need to collect them right now. They're all turning bright at the same time. Let's go place some of these orbital collectors.
Flight mode. Cruise mode.
So that big green planet there, that's a gas giant. And I might actually stop off at my home planet first, just to charge my battery, because
Cruise ended.
Hey,
Flight mode.
I ended up on the wrong side of the planet here.
Cruise ended.
So the reason why I want to charge my battery is because the gas giant doesn't actually have a surface, so you're constantly hovering, and it's hard to charge your battery when you're on the surface of the gas giant.
Cruise mode.
So let's go take a look. So this is kind of freaky, but You can kind of see my shadow.
Cruise ended.
And
Mineral depleted.
in the bottom left corner, I'm looking at, you know, the wire framework of the planet, and I'm just kind of trying to find the perimeter. So I think I'm pretty close. But if I go to the transportation button at the bottom there, I got 40 of these orbital collectors. And it looks like I've found the equator. The only place you can put them is the equator. See, if I go up here and try to put one, it won't let me. And it actually has a message: the orbital collector can only be built at the equator. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to put one there. And let's have a look at it. You can see it's already collecting fire ice and hydrogen. And there's no slot here to put any kind of a logistics vessel or drone. So this is it. This is what it does. It slowly collects, you know, fire ice and hydrogen. So fire ice is really nice to have. It can be burned as energy. But you can actually, where is it? So you can turn it into graphene and hydrogen fairly easily, actually. So that actually comes in handy. You eventually need graphene to build things, and you need hydrogen to fuel things. So it's another option there. Now I'm going to go place the rest of these, so I'm just going to fly along the equator here, and then at every one of these sort of major grid intersections, I'm going to put an orbital collector. And our construction drone, for some reason, he has to fly way up there to do it. So maybe I'll just kind of fly up a bit.
Cruise mode.
Oh,
Cruise
no.
ended.
Accidentally flew away. And there's my construction drone. And you can kind of see in the bottom left corner there, it shows like the planet, and you can see them making this dotted line all the way around the equator. And my energy bar is depleting. It's not going up very quickly because we're constantly hovering because there is no surface. You can get lost on this planet too. You kind of gotta have a plan when you go to do this, because you can get lost. If you do get lost, hopefully you have like an orbital collector with you, because if you go into construction mode, it'll show you the grid, and then you can see kind of where you are. You have some bearing of where you are. The other thing that happens is you run out of energy and you kind of get stranded here. If that happens, you know, you can collect hydrogen and put it in your fuel chamber, and just sit there and wait until you have enough energy to break away from the planet's gravity field. But this is pretty much it. Just flying around the equator. Now, to build, 40 of these orbital collectors, that took a lot of effort. They have a lot of expensive pieces. I mentioned the green turbines earlier. Well, the green turbines also need 2 electric motors, and yeah, it's difficult to make them quickly, so it does take a little bit of time. Now, you don't have to put all 40 at once. You could put like 10 or something, but I like to do everything all at once, get the pain over with, and then you have pretty much unlimited fuel. At least for this solar system. When you start going out to other star systems, I don't know if there'll be enough hydrogen to start fueling other star systems. And I'm not even sure if there's other gas giants in other systems. I've only been to a few other stars outside of my home planet, and I don't remember seeing another gas giant. If there were, I'd be pretty happy, because it pretty much means endless amounts of power for the entire star system. How many we got left? 13. Do a few more here. My energy bar is almost down to half. Okay. Let's speed this up a bit. Pretty much leaving my construction drones behind. But I'll just fly back and collect them. You can see we're coming to the end. Just a couple more. Oh. Ran out of construction drones. Okay. I'm gonna place the last one. So there, this entire gas giant is completely full of orbital collectors. So that's unlimited. It never runs out, so it's unlimited fire, ice, and hydrogen. And I did the calculation once to determine, you know, how much hydrogen per minute this actually generates, but it's a massive amount. So let's, before our energy runs out,
Cruise mode.
let's break away from planet. Just gonna land over here.
Cruise ended. Flight mode.
And that's pretty much it. The only thing left to show you is how you actually get the hydrogen. You could fly there and click on it and then move it to your inventory,
Flight mode.
but who wants to do that? So I have like this interstellar logistics station. Now it's full, so I can't really demonstrate it, but I think there's, I'll put another one down. Put some foundation. Interstellar logistics station. Let's give it some power. Let's put 10 of these interstellar logistics vessels. And we're going to put 100 of these drones. And I'm just going to say I would like some hydrogen. And we're going to remote demand. And now my logistics vessels are going to fly off. Let's follow them.
Cruise
Where are
mode.
they going? See how they're going to the gas giant? They're gonna go pick it up now. Go back to our planet.
Cruise ended.
And the other thing that we want to collect is fire ice. I'm going to say remote demand. Now we don't have any logistics vessels right now, but it looks like they're already coming back. Like they're bringing back massive amounts of hydrogen already. And even if we do run out of hydrogen, like if we're using so much power that the gas giant isn't giving us hydrogen fast enough, we can start splitting fire ice into hydrogen as well. And that's done with this recipe here for graphene. It just takes 2 fire ice and splits it into 1 hydrogen and 2 graphene. And what ends up happening is you don't really need that much graphene. So if you look at graphene, it has one of its attributes is energy. So it means you can burn it. You can put it in your fuel chamber if you want. It doesn't have very much energy. If you know what graphene is in real life, it's like a thin layer of carbon, like 1 atom thick. And it's actually some pretty remarkable. I totally recommend learning about it, but that's why it doesn't have much for an energy value. Just burn it off in like a thermal power plant or something, And what you're really after is the hydrogen. But yeah, that's it. Hope you learned something, and talk to you next time.